What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, today we just got a brand new video out by Call of Duty for Season 2 in Modern Warfare 3. I don't know if a lot of you guys are going to care because I know it's a ton of people out here who don't really care for Modern Warfare 3 in general, but I do enjoy the game, and honestly, I enjoy the content within Season 1, and I was really looking forward to the content within Season 2, and also to see, especially with the reduction in staff over at Sledgehammer Games, if they can continue good support for this title or if it's going to slowly fall off. So Season 2 is kind of a big one for me, and they went ahead and revealed pretty much all the content that we're going to be going ahead and getting. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, before we go ahead and dive deep, if you are interested in more content just like this, if you want to stay up to date on Call of Duty news, information, leaks, all of the above, by all means, subscribe and hit that bell. We post daily here. And last but not least, by all means, if you guys are interested in seeing any other content from me, like live streams, for example, I do stream over on Kick pretty much daily besides Sundays. So if you guys want to see that, I have a link to that down in the description of this video. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, we don't have an official roadmap just yet for Season 2, but honestly, we pretty much know all of the content that's going to be within this season. Of course, when the Season 2 roadmap drops, if it's anything significantly different, I might go ahead and discuss it, but honestly, I don't think it really will be. Other than the content I'm going to show you guys today, my biggest concern with Season 2 is just, meta changes, balancing changes, and just to make sure that Modern Warfare 3 as a whole, when it comes to multiplayer, is in a good state, especially after, once again, like I said in the beginning, the loss of a lot of staff over at Sledgehammer Games. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we're going to be getting 3 brand new maps within Season 2 for Modern Warfare 3. We're going to be getting Vista, Departures, and Stash House. Honestly, out of the bunch, Stash House looks to be one of my favorites when it comes to visuals. I'm very excited to see what it's going to be like when we actually get into some action on it. But overall, across the board, I love the looks of these maps. I have to be real with you guys. You guys know my opinion when it comes to Sledgehammer Games and the content they've been putting forth within this title. The maps just look great. I love Rio, I love Greece, and I love Meat. And don't take that wrong, all right? Don't take that. Don't be twisting my words down in the comments section, all right? But I love them all. I think they all have tons of variety in gameplay. SMG players can thrive. AR players can thrive. Snipers, LMGs. It doesn't matter what you really, want to do. You can do it when it comes to the original Sledgehammer maps. And I feel like that's the direction they're trying to take here. And I feel like the rest of these maps, Vista, Departures, and Stash House, are probably going to follow that exact same pattern because, as we all know, Modern Warfare 2 2009 maps are pretty dang big. I mean, that's what maps used to be back in the day. And it always cracks me up because everybody always makes Call of Duty seem like something completely different than what it was. But no, yeah, this was Call of Duty back in the day, okay? Big maps, you can blend in pretty easily. Yeah, you could run and gun, and there was perks and ways that you can go ahead and navigate that allowed you to run and gun. But, it was a lot more variety when it came to gameplay and map selection, which, makes it in these current-day Call of Duty games, especially with 150 HP, an absolute hellhole when it comes to using SMGs or any of the weaker guns in the categories. So, a lot of the maps that have been original have had a ton of SMG routes from what I've noticed personally, and honestly, with these 3 new maps right here, it seems to be the same exact thing. Multiple maps that are going to be great for all playstyles to make sure that there's variety in gameplay. And also, on top of these 3 new maps, there seems to be either 2 or 3 maps that are going to be remade for the Walking Dead event. Yes, indeed, there's going to be a Walking Dead event. Honestly, I don't really buy too many skins in the store, and I don't know, it's not that big of a deal to me, but the maps look phenomenal. They're going to be more of a zombie, post-apocalyptic type vibe when it comes to the map, overlays. I think I saw one on Skid Row for sure. They mentioned one that sounded like Terminal, but I don't think they showed too much, of getting it. No, actually, they might have showed a little bit of game. I'm not sure. Let me know if you guys saw it a little bit, but there are going to be some zombie, like I said, post-apocalyptic looking maps coming into the rotation, and I love when they do that. They did the same thing in the Vortex event where they, redid 3 of the maps, Rust, Scrapyard, and Quarry, and they basically made them look phenomenal. I was extremely sad when they didn't go ahead and put them in the official rotation, and I'm hoping that they don't do this as well. You have to understand, Sledgehammer, even though they're not new maps, it still feels fresh enough to a lot of us players. You know what I'm saying? We don't have any new content in this game, and even with 3 new maps being introduced with Season 2, that still only means we're going to have 6, original maps in the rotation. We're still playing a bunch of remasters at the end of the day. So, I hope that it's not going to be a specific Walking Dead event that you can only play these maps on. I hope they throw them in with the rest of the rotation, just like they did with the Christmas maps, where they put them in the normal rotation. I really hope that they stick with that route because the maps do look really solid so far. And before we go ahead and dive deep into the weapons, I do want to mention this as well. There is finally a new war map coming. I got to be honest with you guys. I was extremely worried that War was going to be ignored. I thought War was going to get absolutely no love, and we weren't going to see anything new or fresh being introduced. And it's one of my favorite game modes in the game. I just don't play it that much because, it's just no variety. But they're finally adding in a fresh map. Now, I will say I probably still won't play it that frequently still. 2 is not enough. If 1 could barely be enough, I can't imagine 2 being enough. It will be fun. Don't get me wrong. It's going to be a blast. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to try it out because from what I see, the war maps are just a mashup of a bunch of classic maps that we know and love from the past. So I'm hoping that we see a lot of cool bangers being introduced with this fresh war map here. And I think it's cool. You know what I'm saying? I think it's cool. Just like back in the day, like Call of Duty 4, for example, in the campaign. Remember, going through Bog and then having Bog work its way into Crossfire? I love when they do that. I love when, multiple different maps are lined up. When, in reality, when you play multiplayer, they're not supposed to be lined up like that. But, it's cool to see how they try to form them together. So I'm excited to see this new war map. I just hope that they give War a little bit more love than just 1 map per season. Because, if that's the case, we're going to have to wait till Season 4 or Season 5 until the game modes are really replayable. And at that point, the game will be nearing its end and a fresh game is going to be coming out. And I'm assuming all the content in this game is not going to be transferring over like it did from Modern Warfare 2 2022 to this game. You know what I'm saying? Because it's going to be Black Ops Gulf War. And I don't think it's going to resemble too much of what we're playing here. It's not going to be as much of DLC. So I don't think the content is going to transfer over like it did from Modern Warfare 2 to Modern Warfare 3. So I hope that we get enough content to make sure it's replayable enough before the end of its life cycle. And one last thing before the weapons. I noticed a map called Overloaded. It's going to hop up on the screen here in a second. I don't notice this. It's advertising it as one of the zombie maps, but it looks like it's something new. I thought it was like maybe High Rise at first, but is this a 4th map? What do you guys think? I don't know. It's probably either one of the, the 3 maps that are coming in that are fresh with a zombies look, or it's just something I can't even notice from a Modern Warfare 2 map, but I don't know. That might be a 4th map. What you guys think? But with that being said, let's get over into some of the weapons because this also is going to top off this season as well for me, and I'm extremely excited. But as you can see right here from COD Warfare, all the news, these are so far the confirmed things that are coming into Season 2 before, obviously, the roadmap goes ahead and drops. Again, if the roadmap drops and there's some extra stuff, I don't know if I'll necessarily make a video because, like I said, again, I'm more focused on the fundamentals of the game over the content. I think this is pretty much all the content that we're really going to see. If it's tiny things, you can hit me up over on Twitter. I always post stuff over on Twitter, so by all means, go down in the description of this video. Go find a link to that channel down below. But, when it comes to a whole new video, we'll see on what they add. But, he says Walking Dead crossover event. You got different characters. You got Fortune's Keep, which is coming for Warzone. Then the weapons, the MTAR, ladies and gentlemen, the F2000 and the ARX160. I believe the ARX160 is an SMG. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I believe there's also going to be some type of crossbow coming into Modern Warfare 3 as well. Not your typical style of crossbow as well, like we see in previous Call of Duty games. This might be a little bit of a, a unique boy, dare I say. But when it comes to the real weapons that I'm interested in, I'm just extremely excited to see that they are focusing on ARs and SMGs. I'm sorry to everybody out there, the LMG players, the sniper players, but I am an AR SMG type of guy. It's just my play style. So to see that they're hyper-focusing that category is making me extremely excited, especially with some of my favorite weapons known to mankind, the MTAR and the F2000. I wonder if it's going to actually act like the classic F2000 or if it's going to be a different version. We're going to find out. It wasn't really my favorite gun, but it was fun because it was quirky back in Modern Warfare 2. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, your most ideal weapon of using, but it was still kind of funny to, rock around with it. I'm assuming it's going to be tremendously better in this game, obviously, but only time will tell. I'm still excited to see, though. Like I said, ARs, SMGs getting a hyper focus. That's always fantastic news. Then, of course, zombies and Fortune's Keep, new skins for Ghost, MH6 Lil Bird, all that stuff. I don't really care about that. I only care about the weapons because I'm a multiplayer guy. And I gotta be honest, I am pretty dang satisfied. But when it comes to Season 2 as a whole, I'll be real. I'm excited for it, and I've been having fun with this game. I know everybody, doesn't really have that good of a time, especially on this channel. I don't know. It's strange because I always say on this channel that I enjoy this game, yet I get a lot of people who really despise it. I guess it's because I cover all the news. I cover the negatives, the positives, and, it's people out there for everything, whether they like or hate the game. But, down to its core, I've always said this from day one, and I still feel this way. I enjoy the gameplay. From time to time, yeah, it might get a little boring because it's not much content coming out. But, every single time a season drops, the gameplay is good enough for me to hop back in. The only thing that sucks is the skill-based matchmaking, man. And we just had that skill-based matchmaking talk. There's some things that I want to discuss further in the future. But for the time being, it's still thick, right? At the end of the day, it's still thick. They might have talked about it, but it didn't change anything. So we're still sweating like nonstop in these lobbies. That's probably the biggest thing that, pushes me away from wanting to dabble in the game. But other than that, the gameplay itself has been pretty fun for me, and a lot of these maps are looking really cool. I love the Vortex event with the the Vortex maps redone. I made a video about that. I said it was awesome, and I'm probably going to think the same thing for this, hopefully, because they actually look pretty cool with the the post-apocalyptic type vibes for a lot of these Modern Warfare 2 maps. And then again, like I said, the 3 new maps look phenomenal. They look just like the first 3 maps: Rio, Greece, and Meat. They don't look like it, of course, but style, lane-wise, and variety-wise, looks similar. Looks like that once again they're trying to nail it home, drive it home. For the fact that they want these maps made for all playstyles and not just specific classes. But ladies and gentlemen, go down in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think about Season 2. And also let me know what you think about Modern Warfare 3 in general, because I know it's going to be a lot of people who probably don't even care about this because, they don't care for the game. But let me know what you guys think. And you think it's interesting? You think it's not interesting? Do you think the Walking Dead crossover is a good event for Call of Duty? Personally, I think it's probably, better than some of the other crossover events that we've had in the past. This is something that, is way better. I'll say that. Again, I don't really buy skins in these games, so I'm not going to own any of it. But I can definitely admit that it will look a little bit better within the game itself. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. We post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern time. And sometimes we do some afternoon uploads. So, of course, like I said, hit the bell so you can be notified on all of that stuff. And last but not least, we do sometimes stream. Well, we mostly stream every day besides Sundays over on Kick. By all means, if you want to find that, I have a link to that down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in. See you all next one. Peace out.